Yankees fans, last night might have felt like a bit of a turning point, or at the very least a breath of fresh air. Jazz Chisholm made his return, and he didn't waste any time making his presence known. 2 hits in 3 at-bats, including a big fly, a single, and some sharp defense. But what really caught everyone's attention wasn't just what he did, it was where he did it. Instead of his usual spot at second base, the Yankees slid Jazz over to third. Now that raised a lot of eyebrows, and it wasn't just some random experiment. There's a very clear reason behind that move, and it goes beyond a one-game decision. If you take a look around the league, especially with the trade deadline slowly creeping into view, the market for a quality third baseman, particularly a right-handed one, is dry. Bone dry, like desert in the middle of August dry. The Yankees front office knows this, and it's starting to become obvious to everyone watching. You can't just go out and pluck a solid righty third baseman off a tree. They're just not out there this year. And before anyone jumps up screaming the name Ryan McMahon, let's slow down. Yeah, he's a serviceable glove, no doubt about it. Defensively, he's actually very reliable. But his bat? Outside of Colorado, a completely different story. His splits away from Coors Field are rough, and the Yankees don't need another defensive specialist. They need offense. They need production. They need firepower in the lineup. That's why there's a growing feeling that the real opportunity to improve this team's infield isn't at third base. It might actually be over at second. The idea here is that if the third base market is closed for business, then maybe you pivot and see what's out there for second baseman. That opens up a whole different list of names, and it gives the Yankees a bit more room to work with. Now, we all know DJ LeMahieu has been holding things down at second, and he's had a couple of bright spots recently. That 4-hit night in Los Angeles, for example, that was vintage DJ. But if we're being honest, his numbers just aren't where they need to be. He's batting around .245 right now, and while he might have some occasional flashes, the overall production doesn't scream everyday starter on a contending team. The advanced metrics back that up too. His OPS doesn't exactly jump off the page, and it feels like he's due for a bit of regression as the season wears on. So if the Yankees are serious about making a run this year, they might need to look at an upgrade there. And that brings us to Brandon Lowe, a name that's been floating around more and more, and one that ESPN's Jeff Passan believes could be a good fit in New York. Now, before you roll your eyes, yes, we know, his career. Numbers at Yankee Stadium are not pretty. They're actually kind of ugly. We're talking a batting average hovering around 175 and an OPS in the mid-600s over nearly 40 games. So no, on paper, he hasn't exactly mashed in the Bronx. But Passan makes a decent point. Brandon Lowe has that lefty swing that in theory should play really well with the short portion, right? That's tailor-made for a left-handed power bat like his, and sometimes a change of scenery is all it takes to unlock something. This season, he's been solid. Not spectacular, not lighting the world on fire, but solid. 11 home runs hitting. How .242, over 30 runs batted in, and an OPS sitting around 720. It's noticeably lower than his career mark. He's usually around 800, but there's still something there. His OPS plus is above league average, so he's definitely still a useful bat. He's also a former All-Star, and when he's healthy, he can be a real difference maker. The thing is, he doesn't check the one big box the Yankees seem most desperate to fill. He's not a right-handed bat, and that's something the Yankees really want. They're already heavy on the left side, with guys like Austin Wells, Cody, Bellinger, and now Jazz Chisholm adding more left-handed presence. Adding another lefty into that mix might not be the best roster construction. Still, Brandon Lowe is a good player. That's not in question. The concern is more about fit. Does he bring the kind of offensive profile this team needs? That's where the debate really starts. He is a free agent at the end of the season, so even if the Rays are in the hunt, there's a decent chance they'll look to move him just to get something back. They're probably not going to re-sign him, so flipping him before the deadline might be the smart move. But would they really send him to the Yankees? That's where things get complicated. Tampa Bay is still technically in the race. They're only about 6.5 games back in the division, and when you're trying to make a push, the last thing you want to do is hand a rival like the Yankees a bat that could come back and bite you. Of course, everything can change fast as the deadline gets closer. If the Rays hit a rough patch, slide down the standings, and decide to pull the plug on the season, then maybe things open up. maybe they're more willing to make that kind of deal. But right now, it still feels like a long shot. Not impossible, but complicated. So where does that leave us? Well, the Yankees still need to find that everyday bat, preferably from the right side of the plate. And that might mean looking at other options. But while all of this is going on, there's some good news on the horizon. Jasson Dominguez is okay. That's a huge sigh of relief. He should be back in the lineup any day now, and that's exactly what this team needs. Dominguez is hitting .247 this season with 6 home runs, 25 RBIs, and a .765 OPS. His OPS plus is 118, which means he's comfortably above average offensively, and he's doing it as a rookie. The kid is 21 years old, and he's only scratching the surface. I genuinely believe we haven't seen the best of him yet. There's a breakout stretch coming. It just feels inevitable. He's too talented, too explosive, and when he gets hot, he can carry this team for a week or two on his own. I'm predicting it now. By the end of the year, Jasson Dominguez finishes with an OPS north of 800. You can mark it down. He's going to be in that Rookie of the Year conversation, and people are going to look back at the early part of this season and realize he was still just getting warmed up. And speaking of young players stepping up, let's talk about Anthony Volpe for a second. For some reason, there's been this strange turn in how Yankees fans talk about him. When he was struggling, a lot of people had his back. They were patient, understanding, hopeful. But now that he's finally turning a corner and producing, it's like the tide has turned and people are suddenly more critical than ever. And I don't get it. Volpe has absolutely earned more respect than he's getting. I'll be the first to admit I've been tough on him in the past. I've questioned his development. I've pointed out his flaws. But credit where it's due. He's turning into the player we thought he could be. He's hitting .241 right now with 7 home runs, an OPS of 760, and a 114 OPS plus. He's got 34 RBIs and is among the league leaders in doubles. This is the type of production you want from a young shortstop. He's not just surviving, he's impacting games. He's making plays in the field and delivering clutch hits at the plate. This was once the 5th-ranked prospect in all of Major League Baseball. Expectations were sky high, and maybe unfairly so. But now that he's settling in, we're starting to see why the hype was so real. Is he perfect? No. Has he had stretches where he slumped? Of course. But he's 24 years old, and he's showing growth. And for everyone out there still doubting him, I challenge you, go take a look at what other shortstops around the league are doing. Look at their numbers. Look at the OPS, the production, the impact. Then compare it to what Volpe is doing. It's not that far off. In fact, it's better than a lot of them. People love to hype up Gunnar Henderson, and don't get me wrong, he's a stud. But his numbers and Volpe's, not that different. Similar home run totals, similar OPS, and both are around the same age. So let's just appreciate what we have. Here, Volpe's the real deal. He's coming into his own. And if this is the version of him that we're going to see moving forward, then the Yankees are in very good hands at shortstop. Now, circling back to Jazz Chisholm, yes, he's only batting .194 this season. That number doesn't scream all-star, but look deeper. 8 home runs, OPS just under 760. That's actually not terrible, especially considering the small sample size and his recent return. And what he showed last night? That wasn't just a flash. That could be the start of something. The Yankees haven't gotten consistent production out of second or third base ever since Oswaldo Cabrera went down. It's been a rotating door of underwhelming bats. So if Jazz can stabilize that a bit, whether it's a second, third, or even floating between both, that's a massive win for this team. His average will rise. He's too good of a player to stay below the Mendoza line forever. Sometimes guys just need to get into a rhythm, get their timing back, and then they take off. And Jazz has the kind of dynamic talent that can change a game in multiple ways. If he gets hot, look out! Now, this lineup goes from dangerous to deadly. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. New York sports circles are buzzing with rumors that could shake the very core of the Yankees clubhouse. According to whispers emerging from sources close to the team, superstar outfielder Aaron Judge has reportedly expressed strong reservations. about continuing to share the field with veteran first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. While neither the Yankees organization nor the players involved have made any public statements, speculation has only intensified in recent days. Some insiders claim that Judge, widely regarded as the face of the franchise, is no longer comfortable playing alongside Goldschmidt, who joined the team in a blockbuster trade not long ago. The exact nature of Judge's alleged dissatisfaction remains murky, but clubhouse dynamics and differences in playing style or leadership approach are often cited as potential flashpoints. Goldschmidt, a former MVP and one of the most respected figures in the game, was expected to bolster the Yankees lineup with his consistent bat and veteran presence. However, it now appears that the move may not have sat well with everyone inside the clubhouse. Some speculate that Judge, fiercely protective of the team's chemistry and his role as leader, may feel that Goldschmidt's arrival disrupts the delicate balance that had been established over the years. Adding fuel to the fire, unnamed sources have hinted at tense moments between the two stars during team meetings and practices, though no specific incidents have been confirmed. As is often the case with high-profile athletes under the bright lights of New York, even the smallest gestures or comments can be magnified into potential controversies. For now, this remains firmly in the realm of rumor, with no official confirmation or denial from the Yankees front office or either player. Fans and analysts alike are left wondering, is this simply an exaggerated clubhouse rumor, or could it signal deeper issues that might impact the Yankees' quest for a championship? As the season progresses, all eyes will be on Judge Goldschmidt and the Yankees clubhouse dynamics. One thing is certain, in New York, rumors like these rarely fade quietly into the background. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.